safe and healthy, and we hope that this global pandemic is going to end and the vaccine is going to come to us. If anything happens to you at home, please don't reach out to us. Maybe you can go to a better service, okay? But it's not that. Okay, so what is us about? So today is the first episode of Keeping Up with the Education. As we all know, education helps an individual to grab a basic understanding of civilization and their role as a citizen. Yep, it's completely different from the other reality show. We are all about education, educating ourselves. But let's get back to work. But as the geographical region differs, the education system in different countries varies as well. For instance, right, let's take a look at Asian countries. Malaysia versus Indonesia. Malaysia versus Vietnam. What makes us different from the other country system? It could be grades, syllabus, formal schooling age, etc. Do you know which Asian country that is ranked among the top education system in the world? Is in the world, they're in the top 50. Do you know? Well, it's not us. It's not Malaysia. Indonesia? Brunei? Nope. It's Singapore. Guys, read the history. Educate yourself. It's okay. I'm here to educate you. For non-Asian countries, can you guess? No, it's not USA. Come on. You know better. It's not them. No, it's not UK. Well, no. You think, but it's not. Yep, it's Finland. A Nordic country that is located in Europe. Okay, let's take a look at the list of the world's best education system. Spot the two countries that I mentioned just now. Finland has a population of 5.4 million, roughly the same as what Singapore has. And that's pretty much where the similarities between these two countries end. The differences? I don't know. Do you know? Does anybody? So for this week's episode, we are going to be exposed to more comparison drama on both education systems. So meaning that we're gonna dive deeper into their uniqueness of each education of each country, right? And it started when this one gorgeous lady, her name is Datin Sarah. I love you so much. She's having a dilemma about her son's education system. So let's see Miss Sarah.
Is this on? Okay, it is? It's on? Okay. Hi everyone, it's me again, Datin Sarah, and you can call me Datin Sarah, okay? Okay. See, I have a problem. You all remember my son, right? He's turning 3 this month. I'm so proud of him. He's such a good boy. He's such a loving boy. But there's one thing that's worrying me, and it's his future education. Yes, his future education. Even though he's 3 now, I need to think about it. I need to think about where he's going to school, who's going to be his teacher, how is he going to learn? Is he going to learn well? So I've decided that. I did a few research on a Malaysian's education, right? Because I want to enroll him in the best school. As a loving mother, I want to enroll him in the best school ever. So I did some research on Malaysian education, And here's what I found out. Okay, the first thing that I found out, and this was a major problem in Malaysia especially. Did you know that teachers are being underpaid? Yes, they are being underpaid. I mean, they are teaching our future generations. They are inciting knowledge to them, and yet they're being underpaid. And you know, if you are underpaid, that would lead the teachers being unmotivated, and that unmotivation would lead them to maybe having stress, and that stress can maybe pour out during their teaching to students. So it is a problem, you know, it's a major problem. Okay, so that worries me. What if my child cannot get a good education because the teachers have too much workload and they're very busy all the time? They have to think about a lot of things at once, right? Okay. So that's a problem. The second problem is, as you all know, our population is increasing year by year, and schools are having more students every year. So that would equals to each class being having 20 students or more, perhaps even 30 for one class. Isn't that worrying? Because if there's 30 students in one class, then how is the teacher going to be able to focus on each and every one of them, right? And I'm afraid that if I enroll my son in schools with 30 students in one class, then he won't get his and then the teacher won't be able to focus on him if he has a problem. What if he has a problem learning or a problem doing his work or problem focusing, you know? So that worries me. Yes, that worries me. So that is why I've decided that my son should go school overseas, right? And like I said, I did my research, okay? And there is 2 countries that I'm considering. First country is Singapore, and the second country is Finland. Yes. So I've contacted a couple of advisors that represents these countries, Singapore and Finland. So I've asked them to send a video of them talking about their respective countries' school system, and they have to. I said to them, they have to convince me on the schools, okay, so that I can make my decision ultimately to choose which country I'll send my son to. Okay, so let's start with Finland. We're gonna review the video together. Let's start.
Never look back, don't turn around. Iman. You can just call me Fi. Yesterday, I was told by Keeping Up with Education team that they wanted me to be in their show for this week's episode. And I'm very excited about it. I am so nervous. Besides that, they told me that Datin Sarah is actually looking for someone who are qualified and know a lot about the education system in Finland. Because I think it's a good idea that
The team call me instead. I know that Sarah really want to send her son to a better school. I think the team made the right choice for choosing me.
Okay, to start off, do you know that according to United Nations, Finland is ranked as the most happiest country in the world? Amazing, isn't it? People are starting to become curious about this very interesting country because why is it so good? People are asking me why do you choose Finland instead of other countries? Guys, free education and free school meals. Who doesn't love free stuff? Tell me about it. Before we go deeper into the Finland education, I'm gonna bring you back to the historical background of this beautiful country. Alright, first, the education in Finland started as early as 16th century, and this is when illiteracy is a key part of Lutheranism, as they had to be literate to read the Bible in their native language. Under the Swedish rule, Swedish education system consisted of a basic pedagogy for teaching reading, writing, grammar, Latin, and Greek. So during the 19th century, kansakoulu, or in English, people's school, and oppikoulu, learning school, lukio, gymnasium, and university were introduced. Finnish became the official language in the mid-19th century, replacing Swedish finally. In 1898, everyone had the right to go to the people's school, and attendance became mandatory in 1948. In 1948, free school lunches become mandatory. Besides that, oppikoulu, learning school, was needed to enter university, but it was heavily affected the people's status and choices. Most working class people during that time completed their kansakoulu, people's school, to enter the workforce. No school, no work. So, most working class people completed their school to enter the workforce. Since then, children were mandatory to finish grades starting from grade 1 until grade 9. Like Singapore, Finland education system also split their system into two. The first one is academic, lukio, and another one is vocational, ammattikoulu, during their secondary and tertiary level. Recently, it is possible to enter university with a vocational degree, but quite difficult as a vocational study plan does not prepare their students for university entrance exams. Students in Finland are not taught by traditional subject, but learn how to solve real-life problems facilitated by their teachers. There are no tests for them, not until you are 16 years old. Children are not graded nor ranked for the first 6 years. The focus is more on learning rather than grading. Assessment and feedback will be provided for each student, and according to them, tests will take up teaching time. This is because they acknowledge multiple intelligences. Equity is enhanced when all students have access to high quality art, music, physical education, and other non-academic subjects in the same way they study reading, mathematics, and science. Due to this, it is illegal to place students of different abilities into different streams and classes because they want to promote equality and fairness. Talking about types of learning in Finland, it is more focused on student-centered learning. Do you know that? This is because the teacher acts as a facilitator or the manager in the classroom. Besides, students drive their own learning process as they are challenged to debate and inquire as long as they can make things work in their activity that have conducted in the classroom. Besides, with the freedom that they have, they are ready and interested to learn as the teacher who will always be there to help them. Let me remind you, rushed learning will not give you any long-term benefit, okay? It only can cause adverse psychological effects. So, no drilling, no rote learning in Finland. For school hours, teaching time only takes up 4 to 5 hours only per day. This is because they do not want to overwhelm the student. Besides, teacher can have an ample time for cooperating with parents and other related activities. School ranking system in Finland? No, does not exist. All schools are equal. That is why Finnish students just send their kids away to school at their own ease. As for recess, it is untouchable. Each student must have a break or play time for 15 minutes after classes. That's fun, right? This is to encourage students to be outside, enjoy at their own activities, and mingle with their friends. I have 2 adjectives to describe the relationship between student and teacher in Finnish school. Friendly and relaxed. Do you know why? This is because the students actually have the same teacher for as long as the 5 consecutive years. Hence, they have a very strong mutual trust with each other. The teacher supports them emotionally and provides a sense of security. Do you want to become a teacher in Finland? Let me remind you, the teaching profession in Finland is no joke. You must at least have a master degree to become a teacher, and it must be your first choice, not second choice, not last choice, or your safety net. The teaching profession is regarded as a noble career, equivalent to doctors, engineers, and also architects. That is why Finnish parents leave everything to their teachers because they trust teachers' abilities and skills, taking care and educating their children. A primary school teacher in Finland are paid $30,500 per year average. So you convert that amount to Malaysian ringgit, divided by 12 months, you got 14K per month. Oh my god, guys, you are rich. Before I take my leave, honestly, I just want to say I am very confident with all of my points. So Datin Sarah better be choosing me rather than Singapore system. It would be a great loss if she ignores an amazing person like me. So guys, hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. So keep on dreaming. XOXO. Bye.
Action. Oh my goodness. Those were really convincing points about Finland. I'm very impressed. I have to be honest. I'm sort of leaning towards Finland now, but I will give Zayhasra a fair chance. The second advisor, a fair chance. Okay, I will listen to her. I will listen to her video and then I will decide. Let's just hope she can impress me just as well as Fi did. Okay, let's review the video.
Hello everyone, my name is Zayhasra and I am an expert in Singapore education system. So I heard that Datin Sarah needs some help from me. Glad that she asked because I really need to impress her. So I would like to recommend Datin Sarah to send her son to Singapore to further his study here because it has the best education system among Asian countries and it is listed as the best in the world. But now I would like to introduce you guys to the historical background of Singapore education system. Education system in Singapore started when Sir Thomas Stamford Raffles founded the Singapore education system back in 1823, which now known as the Raffles Institution. This Raffles Institution nowadays, if you get into it, it is considered as winning a lottery. After that, 3 types of school appeared, which were Malay school, Tamil school, and Chinese school. Malay school were funded by the British and it was free. Meanwhile, English schools, which were set up by the missionaries, students who enroll in it had to pay fees. Chinese and Tamil schools taught all subjects using their mother tongues respectively. However, during the World War II, many students in Singapore dropped out of school. So in 1947, Colony of Singapore formulated the 10 years program for education using a universal education system to prepare for their self-governance. During the 1950s and 1960s, as Singapore was developing its own economy, Singapore introduced a survival-driven education system, which was to provide a skillful workforce and to lower unemployment rate. And after that, in 1960, schools were officially introduced to the bilingualism policy, which makes English as their official language. So, as economy in Singapore started to prosper in the 1980s, education system in Singapore started to shift its focus from quantity to quality. More system for different academic abilities were implemented, such as vocational school. The system splitted schools into 2 streams, which are academic and technical streams. And in 1997, Singapore started to change its education system to ability-driven. In this system, more emphasis were given to creative thinking, ICT literacy, collaborative learning, and national education. School became more diverse and had the chance to govern their own curriculum. So So, in general, school instruction in Singapore is highly scripted and uniform across all levels and subject. Teaching is coherent, fit for purpose, and pragmatic. As such, teaching in Singapore primarily focuses on the coverage of the curriculum, the transmission of factual and procedural knowledge, and to prepare students for examination. Singaporean teachers rely heavily on textbooks, worksheets, work examples, and drills, and a lot of practices. And classroom thought is teacher dominated, and extended discussion is avoided. And clearly, it is highly effective and help to generate outstanding results in international assessment. Moreover, Singapore also has been at and near the top of international league tables evaluating children's math, literacy, and science skills for more than a decade. Also, education in Singapore has been centralized, integrated, and well funded. So that will be all. I hope that Sarah would choose Singapore for her son to further his study, because Singapore has the best education system ever. But talking about the next advisor, I think her name is Fai. She promotes education in Finland very well, but I just don't like her. I think like she'll snatch this opportunity from me. Anyway, thank you for listening. Bye.
Wow. I'm very impressed with Singapore. Those are really impressive points, I have to say. It's gonna be hard for me to choose. But before I choose, let's take a look at Finland and Singapore's educational system and see what the differences are. Okay, first, let's look at Finland's educational system. Okay. Finland's educational system starts with early childhood education at the age of 1 through 5. And then after that, they go to a comprehensive school from the age of 6 to 16, which is about 10 years. And in Finland, there is no specific types of school. According to Finland, the best schools for each student is the schools that's nearest to their home. Isn't that great? So that teachers and parents can have a close relationship with each other, and teachers can have a cooperative relationship with the parents in case there's any problem with the students. Okay, and after that, after comprehensive school, they have two choices to go to further their studies. The first one, they can go to a senior secondary school from the age of 16 to 19 for about 3 years. And after that, they have to take their only exam, which is called the matriculation examination. And after that, after they've taken their matriculation examination, they can either apply to go to a university and take their bachelor's degrees, or they can apply to a polytechnic, which they can also apply for a bachelor's degree in the polytechnic. Okay, so and then they can, after they've done their bachelor's degree, they can either continue masters or PhD and so on and so forth. And then after that, they can already go to work. Okay, for the second choice, after comprehensive school, they can enter a vocational school and apprenticeship training for about 3 years. And after they finish the school, they have a vocational qualification, which they can also use that to apply to a university, or they can start working they can work for a further vocational qualification, or they could also use that vocational qualification to apply to a polytechnic, which they can further their study, which they can take the bachelor's degree and master's degree, and so on and so forth. Okay, now let's take a look at Singapore's educational system. Okay, as for Singapore, there's a slight difference in their education system as compared to Finland. For starters, they start their early childhood education at the age of 4 until 6, which is about 3 years. And then after that, they go to primary school, ages from 6 to 12, for about 6 years. And after that, they have to take an examination before entering secondary school, which is called the Primary School Learning Examination, and as short PSLE. So now, this is where it differs a lot from Singapore and Finland. In Singapore, there are many types of school that the students can apply to according to their skills, interests, and usually skills and interests basically. Okay, so the first school that they can enter to is called an integrated program combined secondary school and junior college, ages from 12 to 18, which is about 4 to 6 years. And after that, they can go straight to A levels or other qualification, and then they can apply to a university to further their studies, such as bachelor degree, masters, and PhD. Okay, as for the second school, which is called the Secondary Express Course School, ages from 12 to 16, which is about 4 years. They can, after they have finished their secondary school in Secondary Express course, they can continue to their O level. And after they have finished O level, they can either apply to a polytechnic, take their diploma and go to a university, or they can apply to a junior college, take their A levels, and then apply for a university for bachelor's degrees and masters and so on and so forth. Okay, on to the next type of school. The next type of school is a secondary normal academic course. Okay, and this is also somewhat the same as the previous type of school. After they have finished their secondary school, they can take their O level and then apply, but they can only apply to a polytechnic and then take their diploma and then go to the university. Okay, the next type of school is the secondary normal technical course school, ages 12 to 16, which is about 4 years. Okay, and then after they finish, they could only apply for they can apply to a technical education institute, which then they can take a NITEC or a higher NITEC, which only then they could apply to a polytechnic, take the diploma, and go to a university. And lastly, for the last school in Singapore, it's called a technical or vocational courses school. This is also the same as the previous secondary normal technical course school, which after they have done with school, and they can apply to a technical education institute and take their NITEC or higher NITEC, and then apply to a polytechnic, take their diploma, and then apply to a university to take their bachelor's degree. Okay, and then we're done. Now it's time for my decision. It has to take a lot of thinking. You have to leave me to it. I need a lot of thinking, and I need peace and quiet. Okay, see you. Bye-bye.
Oh my god, I think that Sarah is gonna have another dilemma again. Both countries are great. So which one will Katin Sarah choose? Is it gonna be Finland? Is it gonna be Singapore? Well, I guess you guys have to stay tuned for the next episode of Keeping Up with Your Education. Thank you and goodbye.